first of all, what I want to do before we get into the content of the show is kind of just have a little get to know me section, okay? I've been around Tide for 2 years, and if you see me look over here, I'm looking at Michael, our intern, who's in here to help out, make sure everything goes smoothly. I was in school for 8 years total, and I had to kind of go in and out of school when my wife and I started having kids. And somehow I ended up at the University of Alabama. And all that in mind with the fact that when I was looking for a place to go after I went back to community college, I thought I was going to go to LSU. Couldn't afford LSU, the out-of-state tuition. Visited Auburn and enjoyed it. We're getting off to a real great start right here. I enjoyed my visit to Auburn, and I did not enjoy my visit to Alabama. It had more extenuating circumstances. It wasn't necessarily because of Alabama. It was because of just extenuating circumstances on my visit, things that were unavoidable. Nonetheless, Alabama was the only one that accepted me. 2 years later, I graduate from the University of Alabama, and along the way, I met Ryan Fowler through my wife at an old burger place that has since closed down, and got involved with Tide 100.9, and it has been the absolute best thing in my life that doesn't directly concern my family, my wife and my kids. So, for all this to have come to fruition, and for everybody that has been with me since I was first a producer with Ryan Fowler in the game, and that includes, Marquise Munson, who taught me absolutely everything I know on this side of the glass, and also Ryan himself for just observing how someone so successful in this business does his thing. So bear in mind that I've produced every single show on Tide 100.9 at some point over the past 2 years, and I've pulled everything that I think is great about them from a local perspective on how to do this. And then I also look at the guys that are national, the guys that I watch on a regular basis, the Pat McAfees, the guys that are successful, the Dan Le Batard show, and seeing what those kind of guys do. And that's what kind of brings on the live stream, why I want the interns, Michael, who's going to be with me on Monday, and Mason and Clayton, who are going to be with me on Fridays, for them to be able to express themselves as well. Because if it weren't for Ryan allowing me to express myself, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So for that, for Joe Gaither giving me the opportunity to finally get behind a mic and do the Friday Night Light show with Kerry Clark covering high school football, and the pre- and post-game shows for Alabama Crimson Tide football, without a doubt, the coolest stuff that I have done in this profession. I fell in love with this business, and I am so proud and so happy to finally have content that I can give directly to the current consumers of Tide 100.9, and as we move along, a new audience that I feel has felt neglected by this station, just simply based off of content and the way that they're catered to. And of course, is an audience that is your age, Michael, and kind of a little bit lower than mine. But before I get started into the content, I just wanted to give a very heartfelt thank you to all of those people that have helped me, my family, for being patient with me as I went through the process to be a college student and get to do what I love to do, and that is talk college and professional football. I'm going to talk a lot of professional football. That was my first love, but I am always going to try to tie this back into Alabama Crimson Tide football, because I know that's what you listening and watching at home care about. Speaking of watching, yes, you heard me correctly, over the Tide 100.9 airwaves, you can watch this show. You can see my glorious beard and my weird-looking mid-growth hair that is, I'm trying to grow it out, and it looks weird right now. It'll look fine down the road, so I shield that with a nice Steelers hat. But yes, you can watch this show on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Now, I encourage you that if you're going to watch it on Facebook, be sure to chat back and forth with me. Be sure to leave comments, ask questions, and I will do my best, and that's another thing that Michael's in here to help with, to answer questions. And that's one way that you can converse with us on this show. But I strongly suggest that you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe there, like the live streams when they're there, because exclusive to the YouTube channel will be the best segments of these shows, sprinkled in throughout the week. And it's a way for you, if you're not, I understand our time slot, we're 7 to 9. If you're not able to take in this show in its entirety at that point, then throughout the week you can keep tabs on the show and see what the best segments are throughout the week, both from Monday and Friday's show. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be something that can help with the show's growth as well as your entertainment. So head on over. Everything is at Off the Edge 109. You can search for the YouTube channel, but the best way to get to the YouTube channel I have found, there are a lot of YouTube channels called Off the Edge. I don't know if you've ever searched for a channel on YouTube that isn't a prominent one. You will find out that a lot of people kind of have the same names for things. So you won't be able to scroll past all the channels that have 7 or 8 subscribers to find Off the Edge because it's so new. So you can head over to the Facebook page or the Twitter page, and there are links there that are relatively easy to find due to the amount of posts that have been posted over the past week. And you can find the link there and head over and watch us on YouTube. So I appreciate that. And look, in the future, I kind of dig this stream thing. I work pretty hard on all these graphics, and I think they could be put to not better use, but to another use. So something I want to do in the future, because if you head on over to my Twitter page, at @JHarrison, OTE, then you will see in my bio it says I play video games a lot. So I've been thinking, with the college football video games making a comeback very soon, and me having a PC that can play the college football revamped mod, that in the future we might just run a little Alabama Crimson Tide Dynasty on the old NCAA 14 college football revamped mod. And we'll have, we'll set all that up. But I think that's something that everybody would enjoy. And I don't know if you know this, but in the college football revamp mod, you can play with either the old BCS system, a 14 playoff, or my personal favorite, you can play with an 18 playoff. And let me tell you, that's something I'm excited for. Because in my current dynasties, I'm at little school, so we're not going to the playoffs. Yeah. At Alabama, we'll be able to get into those playoffs.